Jenner presents Christmas Movies '89.
Tonight on Premiere.
Roses, Kathleen Turner. Michael Douglas.
Come on, smash my face.
Danny DeVito.
Is there any other way?
You're gonna have to kill me!
Meet Ray Tango. Yo. Meet Gabe Cash.
I was so drunk, I don't remember.
That's funny, I hear the same thing about you.
Tango and Cash.
So you know you're in trouble when the guy you're working with thinks that Rocky is an ensemble picture.
It is an ensemble picture. There's 6 characters in it.
The woman is a walking disaster area!
Someone get this deranged woman out of here.
I'm in a bar.
Justice serves those who serve themselves. I was a real sleazy, wisecracking waitress. Yeah, I still am in my heart a sleazy waitress.
No!
The future.
What do you mean we're in the future? Future?
This is Andy.
Mom, is that you?
So my father is gonna just like have a heart attack when he sees me in a dress.
Also tonight, an inside look at the making of The Little Mermaid. Next on Premiere. Hey, Potter.
Premier casting.
Who's next?
Make it funnier.
We need a rewrite.
Try again.
We got the cover. Premiere's television correspondent is Nancy Collins.
Good evening. Christmas is Hollywood's biggest box office holiday. And throughout 1989, on backlots all over town, filmmakers have been creating their own special holiday gifts, movies. 30 major films will be released between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Some are naughty and some are nice. And tonight on Premiere's second television special, we talked to the stars of the Christmas blockbusters. Premiere was allowed rare access into the making of 5 of the season's most anticipated movies, the ones you're going to want to see. We begin tonight's special with a Christmas movie even Ebenezer Scrooge could love. It's The War of the Roses, a black comedy that deals with love, passion, divorce, and furniture. It stars Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner. But this is no romancing the stone. It's the ultimate divorce fantasy, all about revenge. The Douglas-Turner team, of course, is not complete without Danny DeVito, who not only stars in this movie, but directs it as well. And if you thought Danny was tough as Taxi's Louis De Palma, watch him get really ruthless.
2 weeks now digging the trench, but I'm moving it. It will be over this side. Everything is changing around. I don't want those trees in the background. Saw them.
He looks like he's a nice guy, but the truth of the matter is he's a very sick man.
I've always loved going to the movies, sitting in that room, lights go out. I got my popcorn, my milk duds, my Necco wafers. You know what I'm saying?
This is a story about a war, both on and off screen. It's the story of how one director, Danny DeVito, with only a single feature film under his belt, fights the battle of making a movie. He has to conquer the weather.
You see the sky, you see the sun. Bad news.
He has to convince his stars to stick with him.
I hope.
And he has to wrestle with the budget.
The ferry boat, the clouds, the water, the people on deck, the crane. 2.6 million over budget.
We spent 4 eye-opening months with him as he struggled to create The War of the Roses. The film follows 17 years in the lives of Barbara and Oliver Rose, through their marriage's birth, life, and death.
When I see you asleep, when I look at you lately, I just want to smash your face in.
Come on, smash my face. Come on, you want to smash my face?
Its dark humor may shock some, but that's what attracted its director, who also plays Michael Douglas's divorce attorney. DeVito knows he's not making his chances for success any better by choosing a controversial, bizarre story.
Good.
You all right? You getting all this?
Hi, nice to meet you. Danny DeVito took a break from final editing to give Premiere the inside track on his filmmaking secrets.
You need a little makeup?
Well, yeah. Is the makeup? Yes.
Over here.
Over here? Yeah, good.
From afar.
Hi. But I forgot the dates. I had to remember only when I was dire straits.
How old you were born now, about 2?
Yeah.
Is you 2?
He's 2 watching this.
Okay, this is take 1, common marker.
Why are you attracted to dark comedy?
I don't know why. Maybe it's my upbringing. Like I'm a Catholic boy from New Jersey. I mean, there's a dark comedy for you right there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, looming nuns. You know.
Did you grow up in a funny household? Were your parents funny?
Funny?
Yeah. Humor?
My house? Funny? She doesn't know the stories. My mother was very funny. You know, she was the one who would, you know, she'd whack my father if he got out of line.
Like slap him?
Push him around a little bit, you know, hit him with a pot.
Very quiet, please.
To win in Hollywood, it helps to hire your friends. In DeVito's case, Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas.
Michael.
In Douglas, DeVito has a special ally. The two have been friends since meeting as stage actors in 1965.
As far as Danny, I mean, he's probably the first director that I kiss on the forehead in the morning in Goose. When I see him.
I feel like jumping off a building, you know what I mean? Or maybe I'd just throw myself into one of those Ritter fans and go out like a milkshake, you know what I'm saying?
Sort of like the hitting the fan.
Oh, another one. He ruins another shot. He can't keep his hands off me. Are you kidding me? I've known the guy for 25 years. It's like, it's embarrassing.
You really like Michael Douglas, don't you?
Yeah, I love him. He's my buddy.
Of course, you and Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner worked together in 2 very successful movies, Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile. Clearly, there must have been some hesitation about regrouping under another banner.
Well, I never had the hesitation. I always felt excited by the idea.
There was this little funny man in a beret, and he made me start doing things like run around and be wet all the time.
You can't compare, you know, this young, fresh, beautiful Kathleen Turner to Michael Douglas, like an old shoe.
And Danny, of course, you know, as opposed to being a sidekick sort of figure, you know, and a great buddy, he's the boss. And on the whole, we've done very well together. A few times I want to kick him, you know, but that always happens. I'm getting back at him in this scene today.
Have you ever made angry love?
Is there any other way?
Perhaps the hardest person to direct is himself. Playing both director and star is especially dicey in Hollywood. Would you ever see the day where you would quit acting just to direct?
No. No, because I mean, I have it all. It's a joyous thing to be an actor. It's a wonderful thing to be an actor.
Is it hard to direct Danny DeVito?
I've always been an admirer of his work.
Is he as
egomaniacal, egocentric? He thinks he's ice cream.
Okay, cut.
Reload another battery. Okay, Rocky, get out of there. Get out of there. Guys, get out of there. Turn that jet down. Okay, we're going to do it again.
Every director beats up his crew a bit, but hurting your friend? In this scene, Turner is bruised and Douglas cuts his hand, but Danny gets his shot.
They'd look at me with this kind of like, are you kidding look? But once that was over, they, break your chops a little bit in that way because we're buddies. But they went with it 100%. I'd like to do it again, please. You can get a good shot of that. Look at the gash. This is it, see? Look at that. See what I did to him?
Joking.
To make this movie, DeVito must not only win over his stars, but the sun and moon as well. A summer heat wave did not stop him from creating a Christmas scene.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
We did a Christmas scene, and we brought in tons and tons of snow. And we fixed this backlot area up to look like Currier and Ives layout. It was just beautiful. And it was the hottest day of the year. It was like 106, I think, in the valley.
Yeah.
This is Hollywood. We can do anything we want. And the other thing is I can destroy things if I want, I mean, I can take a plate and throw it through the air. People can fall down steps. I can do anything I like.
One DeVito secret? Let others think they're contributing.
I figure I'll let them all talk it out, you know what I mean? And then when they're all done talking, they'll say, what do we do? And then I'll speak. It's like a bingo hall in here.
Another DeVito tactic, complete control, from moving the vehicles to coaching the extras. Here, his acting abilities help.
Get out of the car, huh?
You don't have guts. Okay, now, he gets out of the car. Now he takes the thing and he swipes at her. Oh, and she pulls off down the road. But the gloves are off. Now he comes back. Okay.
Danny is the first person in my memory who actually has the ability to make it fun.
And that, perhaps more than anything, is DeVito's secret to winning the war of making a Hollywood movie. Staying funny.
We're 5 minutes away, Nancy. Just a few seconds.
Okay. You are very huggable. You're a huggable kind of guy.
Woohoo! Clear the room. Let's go. Okay, everybody out of here.
What's the downside of directing?
The downside of directing? Yeah. Well, if you're a person who is, cares about a family, it's a little difficult.
But the toughest battle may not be staying away from home, or fighting budgets, or egos, or deadlines. The toughest battle may be pleasing himself.
Every frame, every foot of this picture is going to be with me for the rest of my life, and for my kids' lives, and for their kids' lives. And great-great-great-grandpa Danny DeVito made this picture. I don't want, do you know what I mean, this one to see this and go, what a schlock artist he was. It's not easy. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult.
Don't go away. Don't go too far.
People fork over, I don't know, $6, $7 these days to see a picture. It's not easy to make that picture because you want every single itty-bitty detail to be perfect for them. Okay, get out of here. Get out of here.
From the War of the Roses to a Battle of Macho. Next on Premiere, 24 Hours with Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell.
I've got dinner.
If an action film is what you want for Christmas, then catch Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell in, yes, a buddy movie. They play two rival cops, does this sound familiar, who join forces to seek revenge against organized crime for setting them up. Now, 10 years ago, Stallone said he wouldn't have felt comfortable sharing the screen with another star. Now he can, and he's anxious to have a hit movie that doesn't have the name Rocky or Rambo in the title. Stallone and Russell invited Premiere to spend a wild and revealing 24 hours on the set of Tango and Cash.
Man,
Yeah, I hear you're the second best cop in LA.
That's funny. I hear the same thing about you.
Meet Ray Tango.
People think I go, yo, and drool a great deal, which is not altogether wrong, but not altogether right.
Yo, what movie am I in? Yeah.
Meet Gabe Cash.
You know you're in trouble when the guy you're working with thinks that Rocky is an ensemble picture.
It is an ensemble picture. There's 6 characters in it. Say, he'll, what was it, a one-man show?
The first 10 minutes may have been ensemble, but I got news for you, pal.
Dramatic, romantic, intense, passive, demonstrative, the full gamut. Did you sleep with my sister?
I was so drunk, I don't remember, okay?
When all else fails, we pull out clattering teeth and whoopee cushions. We'll do anything.
We're not ashamed. We'll try.
Throw me a ball. We'll do anything, yes. We're available for parties.
Action!
In this picture, I had a very specific wish to be in a picture with, you know, big league players or a big league player. And I was hoping for something that was action-oriented.
Right now!
Never seen much.
2 modern-day gladiators just whipping their chiffon into a frenzy. There's a certain aura that I have brought to films. I said, well, either it's big budget or this and that, or it's going to be more killing or this. And so right away, they'll try to pigeonhole this as a blood fest, which it isn't at all.
They thought they could kill me, but they couldn't. Sikowski lives. I came back. I'm alive. Thanks to Tango and Cash.
Yes, there's blood on him, okay? Man can't shave. He shaves, he cuts his own wrist. You tell me about it, okay? You think he's ready for the ballet? No, it's a different vehicle
There's
entirely.
no blood
This is
in
like
this
blood. No, it is a different vehicle. I would say this one here is witty.
We'll take it.
No.
That's one of a kind.
We won't put a scratch on it. It's totally dependent upon its wit. If we come out as half-wits, we're in half trouble, okay?
It's lighter fare.
It's
not as heavy as I think.
Yeah, easy listening, MOR. And Kurt gets to show his legs.
Anybody not ready?
Which is really a great breakthrough
Finally
in
get to wear a
transsexual
dress.
acting. You know, you can always come back as Kitty Hawk.
Oh, God, I've waited 28 years.
Yeah,
Wear the dress.
I'm telling you, when you see Kurt in pantyhose, you're going to get a whole new dimension of the
I think
man.
it's going to turn some heads.
I'm telling you, you're going to snap some necks.
Hey, Mark.
Lately, I think there's been a trend towards entertainment, escapism, where violence or hardcore action is diffused by a little bit of wit or a turn of a phrase at the end of a scene. And I think, like in Lethal Weapon, when he kills 2 people with a nail gun, he goes, "Oh, stick around," or "nailed you both." I mean, boom, boom. It diffuses it. The audience can let it out. And I think that's pretty much what the personality and the trend of this film is not. It's not real.
We're not really killing people. We're destroying property and equipment.
Now we're making movies. Guys, watch for hot grass coming this way, all right?
Rambo, no problem.
Oh!
The way it really is, okay? Oh! Most people think that, like, when I do Rambo, I live like Rambo, I dress like Rambo, but that's a character, it's a performance. I don't adhere to his politics. I don't adhere to his lifestyle, obviously. I'd like to say a few words.
On behalf of James.
Are you bald? Does your head keep slipping off the pillow at night? When you go bowling, do people stick 2 fingers in your ear?
This is the man to talk to.
Well, I got a project called Fuzzo. I got a letter from a satisfied customer saying I've been using Fuzzo for 9 out of 40 years. I got the hairiest fingertips I ever saw.
I had a feeling that we might click because I just have admired what he's done as an actor and a director, and certainly as a writer.
Now, my look is where? I'm looking right into the light. There.
Right? Should be right there?
We talk. We direct one another. With Kurt, basically, if I think that he has a few more gears to go, and he's still in first, and I think he can go to third, I tell him to push it. Sometimes he's a little hesitant to say, well, are we going over the top? No, and then we do it, and he goes, not bad.
I hate you karate guys.
You do put your heart into it, and sometimes it just doesn't work. It falls apart.
Once more. Will somebody get a gun that works?
If you have any soul at all, if you have any sensitivity, if you feel as though you have an artistic bent, if it doesn't work, I don't care. If it doesn't bother them, they're liars. Because that's what you're all about, is sensitivity. Sure, it hurts, and you feel every bit of, you feel guilty, you feel anger, you feel frustration, and you go out and you try to amend it with the next film. But it's not easy. It really is not easy.
I'm just telling you what Kurt was doing. He had either taken 1 or 2 out here, definitely 1 out over there. He had come into this position, he thought he was safe. Sly had made his way down, another gentleman comes out from behind, and Sly had taken that person out. Now
the contract call for 5 casualties.
Now they're...
If you don't like this film, write Kurt, okay? I will be in Nepal, leading donkey herds up the side of the hill.
And if she's hiding on that blueberry hill, where am I gonna find her, child? You know I will, 'cause I've been searching.
We've been working today, I guess we're now into our 15th hour, and I still think we're doing pretty good, seriously. So we've had nothing but a lot of fun and a lot of creativity, and we've been in each other's, you might say, space, face-to-face for 18 weeks, and that's remarkable. That's a world record. Yeah. Actually,
longer than any of our...
Longer than most of my marriages.
Have lasted, yeah.
Take my wife, please. Here, well, someone did already. Let's say I've had a rather flamboyant marital career, and I thought I'd let that cool for a century or two. There's nothing wrong with that. It was like having a vacation in Pompeii, you know, about 2,000 years ago, setting up deck chairs on the Titanic. It was not a good time. So I thought, okay, now it's good. Regroup, get more career-oriented. I spend a great deal of painting. I do a great deal of playing polo, riding, and I'm enjoying my life more than I have in the past, I don't know what, 5, 6 minutes.
This is not a lonely man, Bentley. Please don't let him give you that expression.
It is true. I do. I go home with Squeaky, my frog, and I crawl into bed.
There's a reason that the tires on his bus are flat, okay?
Vandals. They're all vandals out there. I believe that most people that really have to act have it's like an unformed personality. There's a little madness there, a little insecurity, a little unbalance, a little fantasy. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille.
The people in this business are generally fabulous.
All right.
There's nothing you can do where you can make this much money and have this much fun and not work.
He's coming this way, I'm going this way.
He nails these guys, I nail them
guys.
in the next pattern. And X will mark it.
Yeah.
Anyone asks me what should you do for a living, I say do something for a living that you would do for free.
That's right. I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Right?
Yeah, you should.
So?
Yeah. What?
So what I'm thinking about is, I don't like to pay you anymore. You know what?
The teaming of Stallone and Russell seems almost ordinary when compared to this season's most bizarre pairing. Premiere's next blockbuster stars Meryl Streep and Roseanne Barr. "5 years ago, no one had ever heard of comedian Roseanne Barr. Today, she's the quintessential celebrity. Queen of the television Nielsen's, author of an autobiography, darling of the tabloids who've had a field day with her divorce and romances. This month, with the release of her first feature film, Barr becomes a veritable multimedia event. The movie is She-Devil, which gives us the almost unbelievable combination of Barr and Oscar perennial Meryl Streep. But here's the twist. This time Meryl is going for laughs and Roseanne is playing it straight.
Begging for approval years, really, but yeah, I like when people come up and ask me for my autograph sometimes, but not when I'm eating and not when I'm with my kids, and you know, or if I'm drunk or something, I don't want it. I just go, I'm drunk and I don't feel like it, you know, but it's nice to meet you, because I mean, I think that people kind of liked me because I was a real person, and you know, I am a real. Well, nobody ever knew till I did it. I mean, yeah, everybody thought I was pretty weird. Everyone thought I was really weird. Yeah, they thought I was weird. Yeah, they still do think I'm weird. I feel like the movie's like very much like my life, so much like it that sometimes it's scary.
In the movie, Robin Leach introduces the lifestyle of glamorous romance novelist Mary Fisher.
I've been making interviews for, I don't know, maybe 10 years, saying that I wanted to do a comedy, and I never got one that I liked till now.
She's the woman who has everything.
Probably her next money will go into reconstructive surgery of some sort, because she's got to keep this up. Do you know what I mean? Pink, pink, pink. Oops. Flaw.
To see how the other half lives, meet Ruth Patchett, a domestic demon.
I was a real sleazy, wisecracking waitress. Yeah, I still am in my heart a sleazy waitress.
The woman is a walking disaster area!
I used to not bring people back their change, so that I just thought, I'd pretend like I thought it was a tip, and they never asked for it. So I was real sleazy like that.
What could these two women possibly have in common?
Despite her undying devotion to accountant husband Ed Begley Jr., grumpy housewife Ruth Patchett, played by newcomer Roseanne Barr, is dumped for the glamorous romance novelist Meryl Streep. To avenge this injustice, Ruth becomes a she-devil and sets out to get revenge.
Can I take one marker?
She-Devil is not only the story of a woman ruled by revenge, it's a real-life drama of 3 female filmmakers entrusted with $20 million and an opportunity to deliver a message.
I think that, in a way, the movie is also about the politics of beauty and the politics of femininity.
What are the politics of femininity?
Well, it's about how often a woman's power is based on how she looks. And part of the power of the Mary Fisher character is that she is, in a way, the feminine ideal.
My books reflect my own experience of lovemaking as sacred and beautiful.
And the character of Ruth is supposed to, in a way, represent all of our fears about our own inadequacies, about our own femininity.
Whoa, hey, can I have some salt and Perrier? I just spilled my wine on Mary Fisher, you know, the famous author.
I think all women in some way feel or fear that they're just not attractive enough or feminine enough in some way, because we've been brought up with these somewhat unrealistic and ridiculous standards of what a woman's supposed to be like.
That's your wife? It's too bad.
I've weighed from 105 to 225, and I'm just a real extreme person, and I It just depends on where my head's at, you know. When I get real introverted, I always seem to get fatter. And when I get real extroverted, I always seem to lose weight. I'm just weird or something.
There was something about Roseanne when I first met her that I thought was really interesting, and some of it was because I sensed that there was a kind of, under all the comedy, there was a depth there, and there was maybe a little bit of a sadness there.
Sometimes.
I was waiting.
Sometimes I make wisecracks. I was waiting. Sometimes I say really profound and deep things, too, that are very serious.
Much of what Hollywood overlooks, you can be sure Susan Seidelman sees clearly. For she, too, knows Ruth Patchett and is no stranger to being the underdog. Out of 5,000 directors in the Directors Guild, there are only 449 women. In an industry dominated by men, this successful female director knows how it feels to beat the odds and break the feminine stereotype.
Is it an advantage or a disadvantage to be a female director?
I think it's a disadvantage because I think that the studios are conservative, and you just look at the statistics, there aren't that many women who've been able to break through. I think it's changing little by little, but I think we have a long way to go.
Take your filthy hands off her, Dorothea. You're fired. Get the hell out of my house.
This is exactly how I really am in my real life.
You go upstairs, young lady, and take off my dress. You're not my mother. I said move!
When I'm home and with my children, this is how I like to be.
Mother, go sit down!
I mean, I feel comfortable this way.
I'm taking back control of my life, Bob.
If only my nose was slightly shorter, see? But that they can't do with makeup.
As long as you all are under my roof, things are going to be done my way. Starting now.
As director Susan Seidelman approves one of the final scoring sessions in New York City,
It's great, isn't it? It's really good.
she can't help but wonder if her She story will be a success.
Justice serves those who serve themselves.
But for these three filmmakers, box office success isn't the only reason for making a movie.
I'm interested in issues about image and how women are supposed to look. That is a lot of the reason that I took this part.
Some people, I guess, when they hear about she-devil or whatever, they think of it being just like, I guess, a woman out of control or all the negative things that go along with being a powerful or strong woman or a woman who takes charge of her life. You know, a lot of people see that, any woman who does that. I think she-devil is a pretty empowering word. For me, it is. I mean, it just means that you took control, I think. So everything seems to go together. So this has been a great growth and learning experience.
Coming up next on Premiere, another television star who has made the transition to feature films. Michael J. Fox in the making of Back to the Future, Part 2. The magic of Steven Spielberg, director Robert Zemeckis, and Michael J. Fox has clicked again. Back to the Future Part 2 is a blockbuster. The first film earned over $200 million in 1985 and turned Fox into a major movie star. This time they shot not only Back to the Future 2, but Back to the Future 3 simultaneously. Two sequels produced at once, a first even for Hollywood.
Oh wait, here comes the this is going to be great. No, this is the 409 coming.
Oh, this is the train coming?
Yeah.
We're rolling.
Well, should we do it? I mean,
well, that'll be a nice piece.
Well, okay, all right, okay. If this sounds not a problem. Orson Welles once said about directing that it was the biggest toy train set in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Does that have
He
any
actually said it's the biggest electric train set a boy could have.
Oh, well, see, Orson Welles once said about it, directing that it's the biggest electric train that a boy could have. Thank you. Do you agree?
Yeah, it is. It's, I mean, what other, it's great.
We're back. We're back.
This is a story of a director who, after spending 3 demanding years with Roger Rabbit, didn't take a well-deserved rest from the world of special effects. Instead, he and producer Bob Gale decided to travel even further into the future of filmmaking to invent new visual effects. If you've seen the movie, you'll appreciate the filmmaking process. If you haven't, we won't give away all the secrets.
What the hell was that? Here's our exit.
It's so typical of Bob and Bob to sit down and write this stuff and have no one tell them that it was possible, but not even ask. They didn't care whether or not it had ever been done or anybody could do it. It was going to get done. Hey! Little girl, listen. Hey! I need to borrow your hoverboard. Guy gets on a hoverboard, skims across the water, shoots up the bank on the side of a building, you know, and then 5 other guys on hoverboards chase after him. When they were writing that, everybody would have told them it can't be done, but they just wrote it. Let's shoot it. There's nothing, they feel like there's nothing that can't be done.
And that included having one actor play different roles on the screen simultaneously and interacting as never done before.
Hey, and another thing, how do you know where I live? Let's just say we're related, Biff.
For these shots, all Zemeckis needed was a technological toy that didn't exist until he asked for it.
Oh, yeah, sure, right. That's rich.
In this movie, you used something called the VistaGlide dolly system. Could you explain that to me?
Basically what it is it's a computerized robot camera, which allows us to do like elaborate camera moves, and then the computer memorizes every nuance of that camera move and then plays it back exactly the same way every time. So what that allows us to do is it allows us to have one actor play multiple roles in the same shot, but not have to have the camera locked down like they used to have to do in the old movies.
You want to go inside? You want to call on this?
Once both sides of the scene are filmed with the exact same camera moves, they are melded together to form one seamless scene. It's a time-consuming process for the technicians and the actors.
Yeah, like if you crane your head out toward like where I am. Yeah, like, you know, reminiscingly. Yeah, I remember that.
I would do one side of the scene as the older man, and then as the young man, I would have this tiny hearing aid-like device that was radio controlled that I would have in my ear, and I would have, you know, I would be acting with myself, hearing my other voice in my ear, with Bob Z on a microphone, saying things like, you know, go to the car, open the door, as I was acting, so that I could time out everything perfectly.
Action! Hey, McFly! I thought I told you to stay in here.
You decide what character is going to what we call drive the scene, which means burn in the program into the camera. So you start with that character, and of course the difficult part is memorizing where the eye lines are for the other characters and when to move.
Oh, God. Sleeping in.
So it's a very complicated, it's pretty space age stuff.
So how did you make the DeLorean fly?
I mean, to be perfectly honest, what we did is we went to, you know, the Rockwell Engineering Company, and we had them converted into sort of a hidden helicopter system underneath, and kind of flies like a little mini helicopter, and a little propeller system that makes it move around.
Are you saying you're not going to tell me? Is that what you're saying? The DeLorean doesn't have a hidden helicopter system. Zemeckis made that up. We can tell you that some of the flying scenes were shot with a 3-foot-long miniature DeLorean, but this is not a miniature. In this case, the magician doesn't want to reveal his tricks. Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale wrote the first Back to the Future in 1981. Every studio in Hollywood turned the script down. The only person who believed in the idea was Steven Spielberg. But Zemeckis and Spielberg had failed at the box office with their first two film collaborations, so they decided at that time not to risk a third. Then, 3 years later, Zemeckis directed the hit Romancing the Stone. Afterwards, every studio wanted to make Back to the Future from the exact same script. But Zemeckis turned them down and made the film with Steven Spielberg. Now, Part 2 is a huge success. It earned $43 million in just 5 days. And now Zemeckis has brought a crew of 200 to Sonora, a town of 5,000 people in Northern California's gold country. Here, the filmmakers will be working for 4 months on Back to the Future Part 3. They've built a top-secret western town right by the railroad tracks. And because Zemeckis was working the day I talked to him, we had to stay close to the set.
Barely, yeah.
Is there a danger that America could have too much of Back to the Future with 3 movies?
My feeling is that, no, I don't think America will have too much Back to the Future. And the reason for that is that the idea of the 3 films is that they are a tight trilogy. And they're this sort of saga of this family and this town and these characters that go through time. My feeling is that they'll all stand on their own and they'll stand together. And I think that's actually the difference. I think that most sequels aren't thought out all at once.
Back to the Future!
There's one other special holiday film that Premiere would like to share with you. After all, it wouldn't be Christmas without an animated fairy tale.
Ariel, listen to me. The human world, it's a mess. Life under the sea is better than anything they got up there.
One studio is going to compete with the dark comedies, buddy movies, and trips to the future by going back to its past, hoping that their tried and true formula will work again. Disney's latest entry, The Little Mermaid, is adapted from Hans Christian Andersen's enchanting fantasy about a beautiful young mermaid who risks her life for the love of a very handsome, but also very human prince.
I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing.
I really like her. She's got a lot of spunk to her, and she's kind of a tomboy, and she's kind of stubborn like me, and she's just got her own kind of personality. She definitely stands on her own 2 feet, or her own 2 fins.
But all this movie magic doesn't come easy. It was a painstaking 3-year process that didn't begin with paper and pencil. The actors' voices were recorded first, then the animation was done so that lip-syncing would be accurate.
First, we got to create the move.
They wanted me to act this character, and then they would draw the character. And to my surprise, when I first saw him, he looks like me. He has this huge bottom lip, and he has these big eyes. And because I used to do this with my hands, he's got these little animated hands that are like curved and twisted, and they do things. So I found that really fun, the fact that they took all the stuff that I was doing in front of the camera and for the animators, and they put it into the real character.
Come in, my child. We mustn't lurk in doorways. It's rude. One might question your upbringing.
And no Disney fantasy would be complete without a villain.
To play a good person is very difficult. To play someone mean is heaven. It's a roller coaster. One of the kids said to me, Mom, do you realize we grew up on Disney films, and now your grandchildren will hear you in a Disney film. And all their life they can go, oh, Grandma was a squid? What is that, Grandma? Grandma, are you in there?
No one knows knows whether The Little Mermaid can hold its own against the blockbusters, but I wouldn't bet against the magic of Walt Disney, especially at Christmas.
It's a Thursday in the bowl, but fish in the bowl is lucky. They in for a worse of fate. One day when the boss get hungry, guess who got me on the plate? Under the sea.
Premiere will be right back. From
1989 is already a record-breaking year at the box office. By New Year's Eve, over 1 billion tickets will be sold. Hard to believe, huh? And the Christmas season accounts for about 15% of that total. Last year at this time, we raced out to see Twins or Working Girl, Rain Man. Every film is risky, but it's a fascinating business. And the fate of the 5 movies we covered tonight rests, as always, in your hands. You buy the tickets. So thanks for watching Premiere Magazine's Christmas special. Have a wonderful holiday and go see a movie. I'm Nancy Collins.
War of the Roses, Kathleen Turner.
Hi, Danny Gans here from Open House. Tomorrow on Fox, an abused teenager has reached the breaking point. One Jump Street cop will try and stop him before he carries out his revenge. It's an all-new 21 Jump Street. Then prepare yourself for Alien Nation. See you tomorrow night, right here on Fox.
Someone get this deranged woman out of here. I'm in a bar.
Justice serves those who serve themselves.
Thank you and good night.
Good.